Hey guys, it's Pastor Steve here, and I am so excited to welcome you back to this episode of Motivating Moments. Oh goodness, as always, it is my pleasure to spend this time with you here at the microphone and hopefully speak a word of encouragement and motivation into your life as you seek to stride towards your purpose, as you seek to stride towards the fulfillment of the calling upon your life and the fulfillment of your dreams and visions. I am so excited that you have lent me this place in your life, that you have given me platform to be able to speak into your life, and I am so thankful for that. I know that there are millions and just plethoras of other influences that you could look to, and I am so thankful just to be one of the voices that you are permitting to speak into your life and to form your points of view, and also to find the methodology and the strategies to move forward in healthy and meaningful ways in your life. So I want to encourage you today, right out of the gate. I'm going to give you my subject matter, and then I'm going to circle back and mention a couple of things, and then we'll dive back into the topic. But I want to encourage you today to do something. Just do something, okay? We're talking about motivating moments here. And we're going to be talking to you about just doing something. And want to invite you that if you haven't, please subscribe, like, rate, review, and share this content. We would love to get these messages out to as many people as possible. And that is made possible mainly, look, it's nothing more effective than word of mouth and me borrowing from your influence. So would you please like, subscribe, share, rate, review this podcast wherever you consume the content. Find us on social anywhere at Pastor Steve Evans. That is on Facebook and Instagram predominantly, and we would love to interact with you there if you have a few spare moments in your time to follow along with us. But back to the topic: just do something. The advent of internal combustion engines and some of the nuclear powers and different things that we have fueling our vessels at sea have robbed from us a saying or a phrase that we don't often use, or I don't hear used that often anymore. I hear a lot of other words to describe being stuck, to being kind of motionless and without any real motivation to move forward. But the phrase that I'm thinking of tonight is the word doldrums. Have you ever, maybe you've heard that before. Maybe you've heard somebody use that. Maybe you've heard somebody use it recently. I just haven't heard it in a long time. But I was thinking about it as I was thinking about this content. And I was thinking about work life, and I was thinking about challenges in life and things that we all face. And just begin to think about how often it is that we find ourselves in the doldrums. Now, if you're not familiar with that terminology, let me read for you Webster's definition of doldrums. In our context, the context of our lives, doldrums is defined as a spell of listlessness or despondency. I'm going to equate this to times when once you had a passion that burned deep inside you, once you knew exactly what your purpose was, once you were really in tune and in touch with a direction. But it seems like in recent days, recent weeks, or for an extended season, you've really been struggling to find any real motivation around your work, any motivation around your pursuits, and you're just in that listless or despondent state. I know for me personally, as a generator of content, we can contextualize that however you want to, and we can spiritualize it as much as we want to. Whatever you need to do for your context. I know for some people that may be a little bit of an affront for me to say that I am a content creator, but I create content. I mean, I share on these podcasts. I lead team meetings. I lead leadership seminars, talks, and I share messages in sermonic form, of course, but I share messages week after week, and it is my burden to bear a lot of weeks that I would develop content. And I know for me, sometimes a blank page, a blank Word document is my nemesis. It just absolutely is my nemesis. I sit there in front of it. I have thought about it. I've prayed about it. I've considered it, and I just can't find what to say. Hold that thought for just a minute. We're going to return to that, and I'll talk with you more about my personal experience in that. But you get to those points where you're just like you're motionless, you're stuck, and this word doldrums, this phrase doldrums, it's contextually as it relates to our lives, it is this space of listlessness or despondency, but it actually comes from a maritime phenomenon. And that's why I said that the advent of internal combustion engines and nuclear technologies and all those things really have skewed our understanding of this concept, because there was actually a time, as you know, if you're any history, uh, if you've ever taken a history class, you know that those apparatuses, those resources have not always powered the ships that were at sea, that they were largely dependent upon the winds across the seas to fill the sails and to move the vessels forward to their intended destinations. But there's actually a place. Doldrums is not just a state of being for we as human beings. It's actually a place. It is a part. It's a part of the Atlantic Ocean near the equator, and because of its unique positioning there as between the hemispheres, um, it often causes there to be an abounding calm. As a matter of fact, Webster again defines this. The second definition of this is a part of the ocean near the equator abounding in calm, and it has light shifting winds. In other words, it's a place that you can be sailing along, moving towards your intended destination, and all of a sudden the winds drop out of the sails and you're stuck. You're stuck until some bit of inspiration blows in, until some new idea, some fresh insight, some an infusion of capital, something has to come in to change the conditions to fill your sails again and get you moving forward. And that's what I want to talk with you about today. As the third definition that Webster offers for this is a state or period of inactivity, stagnation, or a slump. And I know how easy it is to fall into these places, to find ourselves in the doldrums. I get it. I am there. I am there. But um, so back to my personal illustration here in this moment. I told you that a blank Word document can be my nemesis. It is my most feared, most dreaded thing, as I feel the pressure of my responsibilities to communicate. I feel the press of the deadline. I feel the task at hand weighing upon me, and I'm just stuck there, and I am at a loss. And many times for me, I am, as many of you know, most of you know, I am a pastor of a Christian church, and I just know Sunday's coming. Sunday is coming, and the last thing I want to do is be ill prepared, ill equipped, and just absolutely not ready for the moment. And I know that staff meetings are coming every Tuesday morning. I know that meetings, one-on-one meetings with a diverse range of proteges are coming, and I want to have a fresh word. I want to have something to encourage and inspire them with. And oftentimes I find myself sitting there in front of my laptop or my notepad or whatever it is that I'm working with in that moment, and I am absolutely stumped. I have rolled into a state or a period or inactivity, a period of inactivity or stagnation, and I'm in a slump, and I don't know what to do. I'm struggling to know what the next step is. I'm struggling to sometimes the wind just gets knocked out of our sail because we've made a wrong decision. We tried something that didn't work. We made a move that our client base didn't like. We zigged when we should have zagged. All of those kind of scenarios. And interestingly, when those things happen, it just knocks the wind out of our sails, and we can find ourselves very easily in the doldrums. So this isn't just from the standpoint of content creation. It's almost in any field. Some days you wake up and you are fired up and you are ready to get up and tear the world up and just take new territory and go get after it. And then some days you just don't quite have that level of zeal because you just, sometimes there is an explicable reason for it, and sometimes there is not. But here's one thing that I found, just back to the reference of my content creation. Here's one thing that I found is that while a blank sheet of paper, a blank Word document, is my worst nemesis, it can also be my very best friend. It can also be my very best friend because what we need when we're in the doldrums is we need motion. What kind of motion? Any kind of motion. We just need something. We need a step. We need a step, a movement, a word, a change. Something has to stir. And there's a lot of times that as long as we sit and stare at the blank page, as long as we stare at the problem, as long as we stare at the obstacle, nothing does change. We just sit there dumbfounded and continue to stare and continue to just wrap all kinds of philosophy around how bad life is for us, and this isn't happening for other people, and woe is me. I'm so tired. I'm so weary, and if life just worked for me the way it works for the guy or the gal over there, then I wouldn't be like that. So on and on. We beat ourselves up almost to a pulp with that kind of thing. But what we really need when we're in that place is we need something to move. We need a stirring. We need a rustling in the winds, as it were. And I have found for me, and I hope that you can, because I don't know your particular context. I know that I may be speaking to a very wide and varied audience, and I don't know your particular context, but I have found that what I need in that moment is to look squarely upon that blank Word document, that empty notepad, and I need to put my hands on the keyboard. I need to pick up my pen, whatever the case may be, and I need to write something. I need to start emptying my head on paper. Whatever thoughts come to my mind, whatever it may have been a fleeting thought that just had been through my mind a day or two earlier. It may have been just something that I'm thinking of spur of the moment, and just It doesn't have to be related. It doesn't even hardly have to be coherent. Just begin to write. And I've found that as I just begin to write, suddenly there begins to be a stirring in the creative atmosphere. And then from that, I begin to say, oh, wait a minute, there's this right here. Something awakens in my senses. All of a sudden, I'm alert. Whatever challenges were there begin to fade to the background. And now I'm focused on this thing that was born out of activity. Now, let me be quick here to add a caution. By doing something, I don't mean that it's necessarily time to sell the company. I don't mean that it's time to take on a massive loan and go out and make some risky venture. No, that's no. Don't do that. Now is not a good time. At the bottom, when you're struggling for momentum, those are not the good places for you to be in the best frame of mind to make those decisions. Those need to wait. I'm talking about simple things like you're trying to work through a problem at work. You're trying to work through this complex strategy development. You are trying to work through a personnel issue. You're trying to come up with a solution to a financial question. Um, and you've sat at your desk and you have just about pounded your forehead in because you're just trying so hard to come up with the solution, and it just seems like you're flat, man. It's just all of the momentum is gone. The law of inertia is solidly in place in your life, and the law of inertia is that a body at rest tends to stay at rest. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. Yours is at rest, and you are finding it very hard to get it moving forward. Take a step. Take a step, a single step. Do something. Fill the page. Empty your brain on the page. Phone a trusted mentor. Phone a trusted colleague, confidant, and begin just to have a conversation. This is what I'm talking about by do something. Have a conversation. Have a conversation about an unrelated topic. Honestly, sometimes that will be the inspiration that you need. There may be something said in the course of that conversation. Get up, go for a walk. You may see something. You may witness something. You may hear something. You may encounter something that will awaken something on the inside of you. But don't waste your precious time sitting in the doldrums in a period of inactivity or stagnation or a slump. Do something. Listen, just do something. Swing the bat, kick the ball, do whatever you need to do, but do something to break that inactivity and position yourself. This is about position, okay? And this is maybe another principle for another day, but often I believe are the times that we are not in the places we desire to be because we're waiting for the places we desire to be to come to us. And come to us they may need to, but we are not doing anything to position ourselves in the avenues that will bring those things to us. I hope you followed that. That was a deep trail there, and I don't know that I can repeat it, but we have to position ourselves in ways that the things that we most desire can come to fruition in our lives. Listen, if it doesn't matter if we want to be spiritually mature, we have to position ourselves in spiritual disciplines to bring that maturity to fruition in our lives. If we want to be successful in our business, if we want to be successful or well known in our trade, then we have to hone the craft. I mean, we can't just sit back and rely on whatever it is we think is going to happen. We have to position ourselves. And this idea of doing something, it's the idea that sitting at this desk, pondering this issue, thinking through this problem to this point has gotten me no closer to my goal. And I'm really at a loss, and I'm really getting stagnant where I'm at. Something needs to change. It doesn't have to be a huge change. Please, again, hear me. Don't make a huge change. It is not time to quit your job, okay? Your family member, your spouse will not be upset with me because you quit your job. It is not time to quit your job, okay? It is time for you to take a small step in some way that's going to break that climate, break that environment of stagnancy in your life, and get things flowing again. And once the wind fills your sails, that season of doldrums is going to be a bygone thing, and you're not going to have to worry about that anymore. You're going to be on your way. You are going to find yourself with a revival of motivation around your mission, your purpose, your goals, and I am cheering you on. Hey guys, it's been great to spend this time with you today. Again, I am Pastor Steve, and I would love to connect with you on socials. Again, we ask you to like, subscribe, and share this content if you enjoyed it and you think it would be a blessing to others. And until then, this is Pastor Steve encouraging you to stay motivated.